Wait a second. There's no client list? What?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers. Excuse me, got a little frog in my throat. Your board certified criminal defense lawyer just for you, not for anybody else. You know, this is an exclusive thing that I'm doing just for you. Just for you. You know who you are. And today we're going to talk about Epstein. Epstein's been in the news lately, and there's a little bit to talk about there. And, you know, we thought that Donald Trump was going to, what was he going to do? Drain the swamp. I think he said drain the swamp and expose all the people who are on the Epstein list, and that's sort of fizzled out. So we're gonna just see all that kind of stuff and actually see what Epstein was up to and kind of talk about the deep state if there is one. But before we get to that, this is brought to you by AskALawyer.com. AskALawyer.com is a very effective way for you to get a legal opinion from a living, breathing, and we do have hearts. And contrary to popular belief, lawyers do have hearts. Contrary to popular belief, you can get good information from a lawyer without spending a lot of money. Go to AskALawyer.com. If you have a issue with your landlord that you think you need to litigate, if you have some kind of other contract dispute, personally, any kind of legal issue that you might think I might have a claim against somebody or something or some government or whatever, go to AskALawyer.com. They can do one of two things. Either help you get to the next step or say, look, buddy, you don't have a case. And, you know, that can save you a lot of trouble too. But if you're doing your own thing, AskALawyer.com also has a legal component to it where you can do your own research. So they've got an AI trained on all the different states, all the laws of the United States of America, and you can get yourself, like my grandma did, educated. And she says edumacated. So get yourself to AskALawyer.com. You know, they're good folks because they're the same people that brought you eForm and eSign, which I use on a regular basis. So AskALawyer.com. Okay, let's just go through some clips. Now, if you remember, Ghislaine Maxwell was the only person left to be tried, you know, regarding the Epstein case. So if you remember, Ghislaine Maxwell got 20 years, and it seems to me if she had a fucking list, if she could be a snitch, she likely would have. Now, she said that because, I mean, she got 20 years. You know, you get 20 years on this kind of case, you're going to do fucking 20 years. You get labeled a sex offender and not a sexy offender, you get labeled a sex offender. And she did his bidding. She did his bidding in that case. And that went to a jury, and she got her ass handed to her. Let's just see where Ghislaine Maxwell is. She appeals her sex trafficking case to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell said they asked the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn her 2021 sex trafficking conviction, arguing that she was shielded from prosecution under a deal her former boyfriend Epstein reached with the government. Sounds like B as in B, S as in S. I can't imagine that the government would. I mean, he also had a deal for 13 months, and that sort of blew up in his face. And if you remember, Epstein was in a jail, a county jail in New York City. I think it was the Metro. I can't remember which one he was in. And supposedly he hung himself. Did he hang himself? Or was he murdered? I don't know. I mean, you don't know either. You know, I know people like to speculate. And when they speculate, they like to just go off like a herd of turtles, you know, and say, oh, look at this. Oh, but, you know, there's just no other explanation but this, right? That's what people will say. But let's just talk about facts. Just before he became a non-living person, a corpse, just before he became a corpse, what did he do? He transferred all his shit into his brother's name. You know, and was that because he was being sued? Or was that because he knew what he was going to do? He gave all of his power to his brother. He was checking out. People like Epstein, honestly, he was looking at life in prison. And he was going to get life in prison. He had trafficking of these young minor girls across state lines and across the border of the countries that he was with. And just for his own sick pleasure. Here's the thing. The guy also blackmailed, I mean, he was no great shakes, but he was able to blackmail quite a few people to make his wealth. And I think that's how he made most of his money. And I know he was a financial guy. He either stole or blackmailed or somehow got his wealth in what I believe to be not honorable means. But he had his ranch in New Mexico. He had his home in Florida. He had his home in New York City. And he had Epstein Island. And he brought these little girls over there. And he would make them do all kinds of crazy little things to them. And then he had his airplane. What was his airplane called? The Lolita Express. And he had Ghislaine Maxwell do his bidding. That's why she was aiding and abetting sex trafficking. If you look at all the circumstances, like Clinton used his plane 26 times. You mean to tell me that there wasn't a little Lolita on that plane when Clinton was there? And Clinton's a powerful guy, right? Would he have the ability to get somebody from the CIA to sneak into that jail when the cameras weren't working and on the live? You know, why do I have to say, why can't I just say kill? And kill Epstein? So let's just, so she's appealing her conviction. That's going to go nowhere, I don't think. But she says she'll testify before Congress to his scheme. So this is from Channel 3 News, probably in New York. Jeffrey Epstein's ex-girlfriend and co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell has signaled that she would be willing to testify before Congress regarding the part she played in facilitating sex trafficking underage girls. Maxwell was convicted in 2022 for sex trafficking charges and is currently serving a 20-year sentence. She's the only person to be convicted of charges related to Epstein's sex trafficking scheme involving 1,000 victims. You thought Diddy had a lot of baby oil? Epstein, who killed himself in his jail cell in 2019, faced accusations of flying underage girls to his private island, Little St. James, and forcing them to engage in sex acts.
Is FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino resigning over Attorney General Pam Bondi's handling of the Epstein files?
What? First of all, I think this Dan Bongino is kind of a tool. But that's a thing for another day.
I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed.
Pam Bondi says she has a client list. It's on her desk to be reviewed. It's not in Arizona, and I'm waiting for them to ship it. It's on my desk to be reviewed. So Pam Bondi is your name, right? You're from Florida. You were the AG in Florida, and you donated $25,000 to Clinton's campaign, or the other way around. I think he donated $25,000 to yours. And anyway, it doesn't matter.
Speculations about the Jeffrey Epstein client list are still making waves on social media, and apparently within the Trump administration as well. On Friday, right-wing conservative activist Laura Loomer said an unnamed source told her that Bongino had left work early on Friday, apparently livid at Bondi over her handling of the DOJ memo and her lack of transparency from her office regarding the Epstein files. In a separate post, she said Bongino was seriously thinking about resigning, and she shared a bunch of other posts ultimately saying that
I love how we govern by social media now. I mean, Trump has this Truth Social, Pam Bondi, sending out posts.
Pam Blondie, as she calls her, has got to go. So the most recent memo on the Epstein files from the DOJ and FBI cited that there was no Epstein client list.
Wait a second. There's no client list? What? There's no client list from Epstein, right? But wait a second, wasn't the client list on his desk? Or on Pam Bondi's desk? Methinks there's fuckery afoot.
Despite years of speculation, and it also confirmed that he died by suicide. Let's go back a little bit, because in 2019 on the Dan Bongino show,
and I've never seen anybody like Dan Bongino. I mean, I don't think he's a pillar of virtue by any means. And, you know, he's a total partisan dude and whatever. But if he is resigning because he thinks this is all being swept under the rug,
he wasn't buying the narrative that Epstein died by suicide. Take a listen.
The questions surrounding this alleged suicide are numerous.
Yeah.
And are worth entertaining and worth getting to the bottom of quickly.
here's the deal. People who are powerful in government sometimes can do this shit and not get fucking caught. They just can. Like JFK. Who took it on the chin for JFK? Nobody did, right? And is there a conspiracy? You know, we have a judge here, Judge Thunheim. He was appointed by Clinton to declassify a bunch of the documents that were related to the JFK case. And he doesn't know. You know, he's not willing to say that Oswald acted alone, or I mean, he doesn't know, because there's no smoking gun. People who do this kind of thing are good at what they do. Like the CIA can accomplish all kinds of crazy stuff.
But his stance seemed to change this year on the cause of Epstein's death.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file.
What do you guys think? Is there more to this story, or is he ready to resign? Let us know what
I love how these talking heads can just spew bullshit. You know, we don't know. I mean, the official version is that he killed himself, right? And so we kind of have to trust the authorities at some point, don't we? Don't we have to sort of believe in our government and trust our government, you know, hold them accountable when we know or have facts to disprove what they're saying? We do. We absolutely do. You know, so when you have a show, hey, man, I can say whatever the fuck I want because First Amendment. And, you know, like, what's his name? Jones. Alex Jones. Like Alex Jones, you can sit behind a desk like I am, and you can spew just bullshit. You know, I try to keep things pretty straight. If I don't have the facts, you know, I can be wrong about something. I can absolutely be wrong, and I will tell you when I'm wrong about something. You know, like with the Diddy trial. I really thought he was going to get convicted. I didn't sit through the trial, so I didn't see all the evidence, but they didn't believe what Cassie Ventura had to sell. So when you look at these conspiracies, what do we know? Well, we know that Epstein was found hung dead in his cell, and his life was lost, and that's all you're going to get with him, right? We also know that before he was found dead in his cell, he changed a bunch of his will stuff just before he died. Which, what does that tell you? I mean, a guy like that does not want to go to prison for the rest of his life and get anally raped by Bubba, his new wife. But the supporters of Trump, I think, are just kind of amazing. Let's see what Trump has to say about it.
Sure.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape?
Ooh, a minute. The missing tape. Didn't we have that before? I guess it worked well for Nixon, didn't he? The missing tapes.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with
The list was, it was the file. Oh, I get it now. Wink, wink, Pam Bondi.
The JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant.
Ooh, MLK, JLK, LMN, NOP, QRS, TU, YV, WXL, Epstein.
By that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Ooh, can I review the file? I really want to review that fucking file right now, Pam.
Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter.
Sounds like the deep state has had a revival in the Trump administration. Are you buying any of this?
And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every year, every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Oh my God, Pam, get on the case, will you please?
As well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Trump does have a point here. Let's say, why the fuck are we talking about Jeffrey Epstein when we've got so much other shit going on? I mean, the only relevance Epstein has to this day and age is, are there people on a list, that visited the site that, oh wait, there is somebody like that. Who would that be? Oh my gosh, I think I have somebody for you on that. It is Prince Andrew. Oh my gosh. How much money did he have to pay? Let's see what his little interview says.
July of this year, Epstein was arrested on charges of sex trafficking and abusing dozens of underage girls. One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you.
Oh my God, I remember Virginia. She was so special. The hottest 13-year-old I ever put my hands on. Give me a fucking break.
She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting.
When you are faced with an allegation like that, and you say, I have no recollection at all. Mummy was in her chambers, and I was on the chamber pot. So I have no recollection. No, the answer is, are you fucking kidding me? She's a child. I wouldn't touch a child like that if you paid me $1 billion. I don't fucking like children. I would not do that, blah, blah, blah. That's how you answer those allegations, not, I have no recollection. The Queen Mum and I were engaged in a bath at the time. Give me a fucking break.
Ever meeting this lady? None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
She says she met you.
But there's a picture of her with you, with your fucking arm around her, and she's a kid.
In 2001, she dined with you. She danced with you. You bought her drinks. You were in Tramp nightclub in London. And she went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell.
We heard you say that before. Is his answer going to change?
Didn't happen.
Oh, now it didn't happen.
Do you remember her?
No. I have no recollection of ever meeting her. I'm convinced that I...
Here's a better story. Oh, yeah. Jeffrey brought her over. She dined with us. We talked for a little while. And that was it. I never fucking touched her. I remember the night vividly. And it never happened.
I was never in tramps with her. There are a number of things that are wrong with that story. One of which is that I don't know where the bar is in tramps.
I don't know where the bar is. Well, then exonerate you. Give me a break.
I don't drink.
Nobody said you were drinking. They said you were eating underage pussy.
I don't think I've ever bought a drink in tramps.
Did you ever eat underage pussy?
whenever I was there.
Do you remember dancing at Tramp?
No, that couldn't have happened.
Couldn't have happened because I don't dance. I'm a horrible dancer and a horrible kisser. I can't even French kiss. Ask Mum. Ask the Queen Mum.
Because the date that is being suggested, I was at home with the children.
Oh, were you? Were you at home with their little babies? What were you doing to them?
You know that you were...
First of all, why the fuck would you let yourself be subject to an interview like this? You know, I mean, I know that the royal family has an image to upkeep, but talking about this is not helping him at all.
At home with the children. Was it a memorable night?
On that particular day that we now understand is the date, which is the 10th of March, I was at home. I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in... Yeah, that's the ticket. I was taking it to a Pizza Express. We were having a pizza party. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was out with my daughter having a pizza party. Yeah. Any other questions? I mean, give me a fucking break. Honestly, when you charge stuff like this out, dates aren't always exact. Oh, on March 10th? I know I was not there exactly on March 10th. What about March 11th or March 9th? So when they charge these things out, they say on or about. You know, it's in this time frame somewhere. So, March 10th? Oh, no, I was with my daughter having a pizza party. In Woking for a party at I suppose, sort of 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then, because the Duchess was away, we have a simple rule in the family that when one's away, the other one's there. I was on terminal leave at the time from the Royal Navy, so therefore I was at home.
Why would you remember that so specifically? Why would you remember a Pizza Express birthday and being at home?
Because going to Pizza Express in Woking is an unusual thing for me to do.
Is it now? Is that because you're royal? You're royal? Oh my God. Here's the thing. We Americans don't give a shit about your royal nature. We do give a shit about you fucking underage girls.
A very unusual thing for me to do. I've only been...
Me parenting is just an absolutely ungodly thing to do for me. I mean, I wouldn't think of it. You know, dear Mom didn't parent us, and I'm not going to parent my kids. So about this one time I had a slip. We went to have a pizza party, and I just can't even imagine going back to Pizza Express. I mean, it's so beneath me.
I've been to Woking a couple of times, and I remember it weirdly distinctly. But as soon as somebody reminded me of it, I went, oh yes, I remember that.
All you have to say is, it was my fucking daughter's birthday. You know, I remember all of her birthdays. This is what we did. And my wife was out of town, and I had a pizza party. It's not hard to remember.
But I have no recollection.
So does that answer kind of fit your question, does it? Please please quit asking me questions. Oh, fuck me. Oh, Queen Mom is so pissed off at me. Oh, please don't strip me of any more of my royal duties or my royal stipend, because I don't have any other way to make money.
Of ever meeting or being in the company or the presence.
So you're absolutely sure that you're at home on the 10th of March?
Yeah.
She was very specific about that night. Mm-hmm. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have...
Well, usually when I'm about to have sex with a minor, I usually sweat like nobody's business, because it's so exciting.
Bath, possibly...
There's a slight problem with the sweating, because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time. Okay.
I have a peculiar medical condition where I'm unlike any human being on earth. I don't sweat, okay? I'm not a sweater. I'm a royal. We don't sweat, or at least I didn't at the time. I do now, but I didn't then. Give me a fucking break. If you don't sweat, you have a condition that makes you overheat and you can pass out. The only reason I even know that is because I litigated a products liability case. Client was burned 40% of his body, so he couldn't sweat normally. And if he did something wrong and overheated, off he went, like doing the crappie flop.
And that was, actually, yes. I didn't sweat at the time, because
What was this? Oh, yes, yes. At that time, I did not sweat. Give me a fucking break. Who believes that?
I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and
Oh, not only that, I'm a war hero too. Give me a break. Nobody believes you're a war hero either.
it was almost impossible for me to sweat, and it's only because I have done a number of things in the recent past that I'm starting to be able to do that again. So I'm afraid to say that there's a medical condition that says that I didn't do it, so therefore.
So here's a picture of Prince Andrew, and behind the woman that he's never met before or has no recollection is Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, there's Ghislaine. And look where his arm is. It's on her bare skin. Give me a fucking break. I wouldn't for $1 million if I was around a minor like that. First of all, if I was Prince Andrew, I wouldn't allow a photo like that to be taken of me. What a dumb shit. What an absolute dumb shit. But then deny that he ever was with her or anything. And you look at this photo, his hands are right at her belt level, right where the belly shirt kind of ends, right? And just before the jean begins. So, and they're pressed up against each other. Give me a break. But nothing happened, right? So the photographer who handled the image of the Prince Andrew with his arm around Virginia Guiffire has spoken out and shared evidence to suggest that the image is not a fake. Maybe it's fake, maybe it's not, but it looks pretty fucking real to me. He wanted paying her a bunch of fucking money. I'm not sure how much, like 20 million or something. Maybe not even that much. I'm not sure. And so here's the issue that we have with that. I mean, and we can't go back and ask Virginia because Virginia just passed away. So Epstein's dead, right? Virginia's dead. Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison. Powerful people use this airplane like Clinton 26 times. What's his name? Alan Dershowitz went down to his place. And maybe Alan Dershowitz went down there for very legitimate means because he represented Epstein. But fuck, all he had to do is go to his place and realize what he was up to, you know? I don't know, how much do you think he got paid? I bet he got paid a lot of money to represent him. And they got him a 13-month deal, you know, home arrest, I think it was home arrest. Or he was released on work release or some ridiculous, you know, agreement. Here's the long and short of it. The government has sort of put a nail in the coffin of the Jeffrey Epstein file, right? And so what does this mean for Ghislaine Maxwell? Well, if there's no list, there's no one for her to cooperate against. And when you're in federal prison, you can reduce your sentence by cooperation. It's called receiving a 5K. And so when you render substantial assistance by snitching, basically. But you only get that if the government wants your help. If the government doesn't want your help, you don't get no help. And you don't get no reduction. So Ghislaine Maxwell, if the government's not interested in what she has to sell, I mean, first of all, she went to trial and denied everything, right? I don't think she testified, but she certainly challenged her guilt and lost. So if the government doesn't want your assistance, you're stuck with the sentence you get. And she got 20 damn years. And she's going to do most of that. So this puts an end to the Epstein case as I see it, unless somebody else decides to pick it up. But I mean, here's the other thing. It's fucking dated, right? Ghislaine Maxwell went to trial in 2021. And how soon before that did Epstein die? I don't remember what year did Epstein die? So Epstein died the year before. And so now it's 2025. A lot of these allegations, I mean, look at the difference between Prince Andrew's interview and the photo. I mean, he's got dark hair there, you know, so this was a long time ago. And that Virginia, you know, is a full-grown adult, and, you know, she's not a kid anymore. Well, she's dead, but she was, you know, long since. So a lot of this is old news. And, you know, are we going to go after Clinton for sex trafficking or engaging in sex with minors over state lines? Are we going to go after Alan Dershowitz? Are we going to go after anybody else who used his plane or visited St. James Island? Are we going to go after the workers who were there and saw things and did things with a blind eye and facilitated this? You know, the government didn't go after that. They just went after Ghislaine Maxwell. So sometimes, you know, hear of Occam's razor. Occam's razor means the simplest answer is usually the right answer. This guy saw what was coming down the pike. You know, Epstein saw where he was headed. He was headed for a trial. He was going to lose. He was going to go to federal prison, and he was going to get abused in federal prison. He lost. He lost his ability to control his life. And Epstein lost control of his life by engaging in sick, disgusting behavior, sexual behavior with kids. Now, when you think about this, I mean, and it wasn't just one, it was a lot. I mean, they followed one of them all the way to London and promised her schooling. You know, I think about this, and, you know, I used to be of the mind when I first started, oh, you do your time, you know, you can get rehabilitated and whatever. I don't think that anymore. I think once you have your flavor, that's your fucking flavor. And his flavor was underage. You know, he wanted virgins, he wanted purity, he wanted somebody that doesn't have any blemishes, and he just wants that power over somebody so vulnerable, right? I mean, he could have filled that fucking place up with strippers, you know, with fucking hot chicks, you know, with tan bodies and high heels and you know, 20 to 30 and, you know, all different ages and races. And he could have just had a party. And had it all been legitimate and legal. But that isn't what he wanted. You know, I'm glad he's dead. You know, I'm glad that it puts peace in the minds of people who were abused, that he's not going to be able to do that shit to anybody else. I don't believe in the death penalty because it's unequally applied. And I just, you know, people in poverty are disproportionately put to death. But he put himself to death, or at least that's what Dan, Bon Jovi, or whatever the fuck his name. I said Bon Jovi. Anyway, Bonzino, whatever his name is. He flipped. When he was a talking head. Oh, it's a conspiracy. The government killed him. When he's in the government, no, he killed himself. I've seen the file and blah blah. Let's take him at his word. Let's take Dan Bon Jovi on his word. I mean, fine by me. If that's what you think, you know, I'll take you at your word. You said you saw the file? Fair enough. You think is he gonna resign over Pam Bondi's handling of this? Who knows? I suggest we focus on other things at hand, something more palatable, like the Kroberger situation or the Diddy situation, or, I mean, some other people who are equally as fucked up. But if it weren't for bad decisions, drugs, and alcohol, I wouldn't have a job, right? And we wouldn't be here together. So I really appreciate you guys listening to me and being fans and supporting our channel over the years. I know Michael did too. It was his dream to create this thing. And I know I bring him up all the time, but I'm going to because he is responsible for the channel. First of all, I would never have started this channel but for him. And we've grown it now to almost 1.4 million subscribers. You guys are amazing. We have a Patreon channel where you guys get a little extra treatment. So make sure you subscribe to that. We have merch and we're constantly putting out new stuff. I think we're going to give you, we have a lot of hoodies, and the fall's coming up. So I think we might give you a little special deal on those. So look for that. We got more content coming up. So, and if you have ideas, send us ideas because we listen to them. And if you're sending me a lot, somebody sends me all kinds of shit today. I come in, there's this huge box. There's a globe here. There's a decanter over there. There's a whiskey glass kit. There's, I don't know who's sending me this stuff. It says from nobody. Somebody's sending me a lot of stuff. And if it's you, I appreciate it, but not necessary. It's filling up my space. I really appreciate our fans. And make sure you, so we're done now, but make sure you subscribe. I'm not forever, but this is for this episode. So make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, go to CLR, Bruce Rivers, when you have a birthday coming up, and make sure you rep the merch and tag us in it on Instagram, because that would be kind of cool to get that going. And we're going to be flying out to do No Jumper on the 14th of August out to LA. So I may do a little video blog of that trip. Love you guys to death. And also make sure you give askalawyer.com some love, because I'm telling you, that can get you where you need to go or prevent you from doing something stupid. See you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God?